Real Housewives of OC, season 17, episode 4. I wanted to say dos, but it's cuatro if I'm doing Spanish. So we start out with Emily taking her daughter to a modeling agency. The daughter is interested in acting and stuff. She is so happy. She's really jubilant. And Emily actually says she has time to be there for her, especially now that Shane is working. I think Shane comes from money, so technically, financially, it was never a problem. I mean, you saw Shane's parents' house, and Shane has not worked in like decades, and they live that kind of lifestyle. So I think they're fine financially. So it's good to see that she could be there for her daughter and everything. So at the end, though, it touched me because the daughter acts like a goofball all the time, but she's like, "Thank you, mommy." I was like, "Oh, kids do see the effort. Like sometimes they're annoying, but eventually they show that they do appreciate." And I love that moment for Emily. Then they're getting ready for this dude ranch in Montana. Heather comes in with the champagne, like, "Girl, we're buying cowboy hats and assless chaps." But apparently someone's birthday. She says happy birthday. Then Shannon, Emily, and Gina in the vintage spot, basically used stuff. I know Heather is never gonna shop at the used spot, so that was very apt. So they're just like shopping. Gina is still talking about she's traumatized by Jen cheating. Gal, did she cheat on you? Like, you need to get over it. And I just feel like the fact that this is still even affecting her makes me think she's not over Matt at all. I think this new guy is easygoing. He's pliable versus Matt, who is like a hottie and a thottie that was out there, doing the most. So she's talking about she's trying to get his felonies, which she put on him, but rightfully so. If he did abuse her, hey, it is what it is. But she's trying to get it off because it's now affecting them financially and things like that. Then we go back to Jen. And Jen even trying to justify I didn't have sex with him before I divorced. That's stupid. Emotional cheat, physical cheat, you cheated. Stop even talking about it. It makes you look crazy. They come to find out Ryan is a whole cheater. Like, girl. Especially the family Jen lives in. She has like so many kids, so many animals. Why would you introduce somebody like that to your family? Because he's already taking a break to do what he does best. And you're there talking about, I don't know, women be doing too much for me. The scene with Jen and Ryan, they could have kept that because I was like, what was all the moaning? It was so suggestive. And you could tell she's very insecure about this man. Like, why put yourself in some crazy shit? This nigga told you he cheats. That's his thing. I just do not like stress, honestly. If you tell me something, I believe you and I take you for face value because I don't got time for this. I do not. But she's there trying to convince herself that this relationship is gonna work. I'm just like, girl, it ain't. Then we go to Heather Dubrow and her rich self. How rich are those motherfuckers? Like, what? Like, I know he's a plastic surgeon. Well, they do have like, no, they have things that they sell on the side too, because he does skincare and stuff. So those things bring money. But goddamn, they're rich, rich. Like, I'm tripping now because the money looks long. Like, they're taking their kids to college on a freaking PJ. Their kids' dorm rooms looks like better than a lot of us houses like that we live in a whole adult year. So I'm like, oh my god, this kid's better be fucking successful because to go from this to regular life, that's gonna be hard. I'm gonna tell you now, that will be hard because you can't be in that level of luxury and not keep it up. Like, that messes your mind up, I'm telling you. But she's like really going through it because both her oldest kids are like out the house and she doesn't know how to cook. And Terry is like, this is the beginning of the end of our lives. It's like, what the hell? I mean, he's correct, but goddamn, that sounded so sad. But anyways, I thought it was like heartwarming. And to see Heather, minus the riches, she's really a good mom. Her kids really love her. And her kids, at least what we see on camera, don't act like assholes that are entitled, which is a big feat to accomplish, especially these people have been rich all their lives, these children. Heather even came from humble beginnings. And I think Terry also came from like maybe middle class, lower middle class, or just middle class. But their kids have been wealthy all their lives. They've had luxuries all their lives, but they still seem normal. Like even with the chef there, they still seem respectful and things like that. So I like that, at least from what we see. I don't know if they do some crazy stuff behind the scenes, but they seem like okay kids. Then Tamara and Taylor meet, and their relationship doesn't seem very organic. It seems like they're making it work for the show. Like Tamara was into into Orange County, and she's like complaining about Heather not taking her movie seriously, and I'm looking like, Taylor, this is not how. I'm not even in the movie industry, and I know this is not how it works. Your friend doesn't come to your house and says, "Oh, you're in a show," and then you're in a show. Lawyers have to be talked to. Money has to be talked about. Yes, Heather's acting career has taken a pause, but she also has a name and a brand. So she's not going to jump on any, as you described, honky tonk movie. Like, I feel like this is a conspiracy to come against Heather, because Heather is obviously the wealthiest one amongst all of them. There is some jealousy, and Heather has had the most successful marriage than all of them, despite all the rumors they tried to throw at her and things like that. But, and Heather was kind of hinting that this might be her last season. I'm hoping not. Like, I hate when housewives are ganged up against and run off. Even on Watch What Happens Live yesterday, you could see Taylor was like coming for Heather, and I'm like, because she didn't want to be in your movie? Like, this is crazy. Like, this is not even normal. So all the ladies are getting ready to go on the trip to Montana. Hannah has a whole stylist. Tamara gets new Louis Vuitton boots because it's her birthday. And the other ladies are getting ready. They get to the airport. They're waiting for Emily. Emily calls them talking about she has COVID. I'm like, of course she has COVID. They get to the dude ranch, and they're basically like a main villa and like small little, I guess, like houses or bunkers. But Shannon keeps saying the kitchen is too small for me to cook. What are you cooking on vacation? Like, girl. Like, what? I want to see her cook and see what she's cooking, because she kept complaining about kitchen sizes. I'm like, I never go on vacation and think, ooh, I want a whole chef's kitchen so I can make what? Oodles and noodles? Like, I want to see what she cooks, because she's annoying me. So the ladies are getting ready to go ride this mechanical bull that they're super excited about. Like, why? I feel like they could have ridden a mechanical bull in Orange County, but they're excited. Shannon is being weird. Like, she's freaking out. She's like, I don't have my makeup done. At this point, Heather is like, let's give her space, let her do what she got to do, and basically Tamara is like, she's so dramatic, which she was being dramatic at that point. But I was like, girl. So Tamara is one driving them. I remember the big accident they had in the sand dune. So Heather is like, don't roll over this car. But she drives safely. She picks up the other ladies. They go to the mechanical bull. Shannon shows up, and they're like, are you going to ride? She's like, my vagina is bony. I don't even know what that means, but yeah. Why would you, like, her labia might be thinning out? I want to imagine it, but she says basically she has a bony vajayjay, so she cannot ride the mechanical bull. This is such a mess. So Tamara asked the ladies to reveal something about them, and Taylor revealed she's bisexual. She had a whole 5-year relationship before Russell. Russell, if you guys don't know, is the husband that unalived himself years ago due to some business issues and personal issues. Anyway, but she said basically she had a full-on bisexual relationship, and Tamara is like, oh, she knew about that. Apparently, Hannah and Taylor are closer than we think. I don't know. Then Jen says, Jen tells us how she met her husband. Apparently, he was still in law school in Georgetown. They met on a flight, and that's how they started dating. And when they got engaged, she moved to California. So she said she was a flight attendant at that point. So then they're going around, and Tamara shares, and they get to freaking Shannon. Shannon's like, I had a crazy UTI last week. Like, Shannon, no one is talking about stuff like that. We're talking about personal things that we would not get. We would guess you have UTIs. You're spazzing out naturally, and we see the UTI in you. Then she gets off the table. She's like, she has to make a phone call. Her daughter's blah, blah, blah. All the girls instantly start thinking of doom. Where's John? Why is John not this? Are you in or out? And Shannon literally just made an excuse to go change. So I'm like, what the hell? So she's inside. She has this new outfit on. She's giving everybody shots. Then Tamara is there doing extra shots with her. I'm like, you just said the lady had a drinking problem like 2 episodes ago. So if she really did have a drinking problem, you giving her extra shots, is that helpful? I don't think so. Then Taylor tries to have a whole conversation about this stupid acting part. And And what Heather is completely right. Like, you don't just tell me I'm in a movie. There's no contract. There's no timing. There's no nothing. Like, this is not how any of this works. And Taylor is acting like, oh, well, you would know. You have experience. Bitch, you've been on TV for 10,000 years. Do they tell you just come and film without you having a contract for your housewife show? Like, she's acting oblivious, but I think she just wants to have a problem with Heather. Like, Heather is the top dog. Even though Heather this season is kind of like chill, taking her time, having fun, grieving her kids are moving out. But the girls are steady trying to come for her. And this Taylor beef is so manufactured and so stupid because Heather is right. This is not how I work a regular job, and I'll be damned if I don't know what the salary is, where I'm reporting to, what time I'm reporting to the place. Like, this is not normal. This is not normal. The final 5 minutes. Okay. At this point, Taylor and Heather talk it out. Heather is like, girl, nobody offered me anything. It's not your movie. You're not a producer. Let the thing go through normal channels. I will consider it. And she's like, are we good? Taylor's fake ass is like, yeah, yeah. Gives her this fake ass air kisses. Which you already know they're not good because Taylor in her mind has some, I don't know, some insecurity about Heather. So Heather is like going on, and Tamara obviously staring apart. She's like, so what happened? You guys talked it out? And they're like, yeah. Then Tamara is like, did you tell her they wanted her to send in a casting tape knowing what the fuck she's doing? And Heather is like, they wanted me to send a casting tape? How is it that y'all said I was being too pompous for the show? Now I'm not good enough for the show. Now you want to cast it, which is BS. Basically, I'm like, who is running this show? This show already, or this movie, or whatever she's shooting already sounds like a hot mess. Heather is highly offended. You could tell because now she's having this weird laugh. She's like, wow. So they bring up the whole IMDb, and she's like, yeah, so they looked up your IMDb, and she's like, what? And Taylor's trying to put some sugar, and they're talking about, I was so impressed. So I was wondering why they wanted you to send a casting tape, your pedigree, your this, your that. Then Tamara's like, you weren't that impressed when we sat together, so why are you here making shit up? Taylor is still trying to clean it up. At this point, Heather has had it. Heather is like, so you tell me you're in a movie for the first time. I'm happy for you. But then you go look up my IMDb. I've sacrificed for my family. I've given up on my career for 20 plus years. I'm in a crossroad in my life, which she really is. Heather is going through it. Heather is trying to find her identity without her kids being in the house because half of her kids are out now and the other two are right behind them. So she's definitely in a crossroad because, I mean, technically she was an actress. She married a guy that obviously his money was more concrete. And it wasn't a bad idea. Terry loves the shit out of her. They've had a successful marriage. They've had successful children. So it's like, was the sacrifice worth it? I think so. But it doesn't mean that you don't still feel lost sometimes. And Heather is really like offended. She's like, F you. I don't know that we've seen Heather curse a lot. So it was kind of like, oh, she's pissed. Like, god damn it. But yeah, that was the show. That's how it ended. It started off slow, but it definitely picked up. And I guess next week is going to be even better. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, subscribe. Bye.